how are you doing today?
How you doing, James?
Appreciate you and all you do for the credit union. And again, thank you for taking time out for today. This month is Black History Month. And so we wanted to spend some time with you and ask you a few questions. So, first question is going to be, what does Black History Month mean to you?
History Month means a month of recognizing the contributions that Blacks have made within the United States of America. However, it seems like to me 1 month is just not enough. It's to me it's Black history 12 months out of the year to just recognize the various contributions that made this country what it is. And it's a way of recognizing those contributions, which are basically, in my opinion, taken for granted. So we take this month just to recognize something that should be recognized all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, this month is really to celebrate also and preserve the great stories that you're probably thinking about and you know. So, what might be a story from your family history that you would want to preserve?
My family history story would come from my background being raised in West Palm Beach. And you don't know how poor you are until you see the other side.
Hmm.
My experience was going to Palm Beach with my uncle to pick up my mother, grandmother, and aunt, and seeing homes I had no idea existed,
Wow.
and seeing not homes but basically mansions. And it opened my eyes to a side of the economy that I didn't know existed. As far as I know, everybody lived like we did.
Hmm.
And I was running around West Palm Beach barefoot and oh shoot. And up until then, I'm thinking everybody lived the same way. And I went to West Palm Beach with my uncle to pick my mother and grandmother up, and I'm seeing cars that I've never seen before, and the names I couldn't even pronounce. But it was an eye-opening experience for me and gave me the fortitude that hey, there's more out there that I didn't know was even there, and to
Wow.
progress and move forward.
Wow. The other side, as you say, that's I can understand a little bit growing up in Brooklyn myself in a maybe a poorer section of the area and coming to similar stories as well. There are certain neighborhoods that are going through maybe what you did when you were younger, that being Eatonville. Um, what is your connection with Eatonville?
Well, I moved to Orlando approximately 16, 17 years ago because my wife had an opportunity to participate in the opening of the VA here in Orlando. And so coming to Orlando to me wasn't a huge sacrifice because I travel all the time on my job anyway. So I just needed a good airport to get out of. And we joined Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church approximately 15 years ago because we were searching
Mm,
for a church because I grew up living next door to the church. So being a part of the
mm.
church was bred within me. It wasn't an option. So we were looking for a great church, especially one that offers a good Sunday school. And we ended up here in Eatonville, which we live, if you know, I lived out in Lake Nona at the time. So that's approximately 25 miles
Yeah,
from Eatonville. But that's how important it was for us to communicate and join a church where we thought we were being fed properly.
that's great. That's great. And Macedonia was kind of the connection that brought you to the credit union.
Yes.
Um, so, what makes you passionate about Unity of Eatonville, and why did you take on this responsibility?
I took on the responsibility mainly because of my background and experience in banking. And as a regulator, I could see very clearly talking about a community that didn't have a grocery store, didn't have a pharmacy, didn't have any type of financial institution or bank, which is paramount for the growth and services of any community. Here I lived in Lake Nona, and I'm tripping over banks that are on every corner and in between. But here I go to worship at Macedonia in Eatonville, and there are no financial institutions. And this is a way of me getting back for the blessings I received over my career. And this is kind of odd that I grew up being intimidated by banks.
Mm.
My family members didn't go into banks. They were more comfortable dealing with finance companies. But I knew the advantages of financial institutions. And I thought it was just a perfect fit. And besides, this is the second time I've done this, but it was more prevalent this time because there was a bigger need here for a financial institution than the institution I did in Atlanta. And it was just something you want to be a part of to give something back.
Wow, that's great. The credit union does mean a lot for the community of Eatonville. Um, you and I actually have had a great conversation earlier today about Eatonville. But what is your vision for Eatonville's future then?
The future uh, could be very bright. It depends on the citizens of Eatonville. What I want to do is make it seem possible for it to happen. And the credit union is just one piece of that to do that. I mean, the city needs a grocery store, they need a pharmacy. All these things can happen. But the biggest thing in a city like Eatonville, and the same way the city that I grew up in, is you have to realize the potential and reach for it. If you can't dream it, you can't see it.
Mm.
And throughout my career, I've been able to dream things of happening without realizing that they will happen. But if you can't dream it, then it'll never happen. Oh, and to me, we serve a God that anything is possible, but you have to believe it. And I believe in Eatonville. And when the pastor approached me about the credit union, it was a natural fit. I mean, I was retired, I had the time, and it was a way for me to give back based on my experience and expertise. It was a natural fit for me. And I wasn't looking at how I can get rewarded or the pay, because my pay is zero. It's the giving back,
Right.
especially to a community that lack basic services that everyone else have, but they do not have. And if you want to get to that next level, these are the basic services that you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are hoping that the credit union becomes that catalyst that you're talking about, and Eatonville's future can be bright. And that's our hope and that's our prayer for this town. Lewis, thank you so much for taking some time out for your busy day again and participating in this. And as we celebrate Black History Month, thank you for your stories. Thank you for your giving back. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Take care.